And welcome back to the Madlanga Justice College. It's day 160 of the Commission's proceedings, but of course, it's a hive of activity here this morning. As you can see, we've now moved out of the auditorium, and that is because it's all happening this morning. We've had the bomb sweep, and currently there is a fire drill taking place and all sorts of sirens blasting around us. But of course, we're still going to continue with our analysis on what's to be expected here at the Madlanga Justice College. And of course, I'm joined right now by Professor Tumisane Mabunda, who is of course the Professor of College of Law, Police Practice at the University of South Africa, UNISA. Prof, good morning, and thanks for coming through. As you can see, not quite business as usual. We can see much more activity than usual as people who often come here today.
Yes, good morning, Sakina, and good morning to the viewers. Today, we are expecting Mr. Matlala to appear before the Commission. We know that it was postponed previously due to reasons beyond our control, but we are looking forward to him testifying today.
It's an interesting one because what we have seen is that phase 2 of the Commission's proceedings has been riddled with postponements, and of course, at the very least, people trying not to self-incriminate and invoking that right. And Vusimuzi Matlala no different in that regard.
Yeah, I think this is an opportunity for people who are supposed to appear in these commissions. If you have nothing to hide, I don't see a reason why you should duck and dive like we have seen with the witness in the past week, where the Commission had to postpone several times until we reached a stage where that particular witness will no longer be testifying. But we can be grateful that the Justice Madlanga has taken a decision that other processes will follow to make sure that those who are supposed to respect this commission do so, so that the country knows what is happening, because corruption robs people of development. We need to know what is happening behind the surface.
And of course, as you can see in shot there, you've got the fire services also coming through, emergency services of the city of Tshwane. Yeah. As we said, it is quite busy here this morning in anticipation of the arrival of Vusimuzi Matlala. Yeah. But as that continues, there are of course many questions that Matlala needs to answer to, Professor. Yes. And not least of which you just mentioned what happened with Suleiman Karim last Friday, who did not show. But of course, the fact that Matlala will be here, I would imagine that the Commission will be hard-pressed to try and get something out of him.
It's not going to be easy. There are certain issues that he will be willing to talk about, but I can tell you that there are certain things that the Commission will have to probe. We are grateful that we know that the commissioners have got skills to probe witnesses who are evasive or unwilling to give up information. We shall remember that this is not a court of law. People are given an opportunity to answer the questions, and also, of course, we know that the witnesses have got the right not to say certain things, but I'm certain that the commissioners will be able to extract whatever information that will guide the commissioners to make recommendations.
How much do you believe, Prof, they can realistically extract from Matlala this morning? Because I would imagine that his advocate, Adeline van den Heever, she would be fighting tooth and nail to get her client not to say much, if anything, here today.
Yeah, we've seen with the lawyers of the witness last week. That is what lawyers are paid for. They are here to protect their clients. So they are not going to come and sit here and not say something. They will try to be difficult because that is what they are paid for. So we can expect the same thing, that Mr. Matlala will be told what to answer for and what not to answer. We will know that there are other cases that he's still going through. So the lawyer will make sure that he don't incriminate himself.
If we look at some of the matters in which he is implicated, there is, of course, the 360 million rand SEPS Medicare 24 tender and the allegations surrounding how that contract was actually awarded and how Matlala is at the forefront of what happened there.
Yeah, that is very key, but of very important significance is that you remember Commissioner of the Police, suspended one.
Fani Masimula.
We heard from the witness last week that there were fabrications of cases. We would like to see Matlala either confirming that Commissioner Masimula was involved or he's not involved. IDAC tried to implicate him. So if that is the case, we will expect that the NPA will expedite the processes of making sure that Commissioner Masimula returns to his position.
And of course, just a reminder to our viewers, what you are seeing right now, these are live visuals from the Madlanga Commission, and this is precisely why we are outside. There is currently a fire drill here at the Bridget Mabandla Justice College, and all sorts of sweeps happening currently, and this as we of course await the arrival of Vusimuzi Matlala. I'm not sure though, Prof, whether he may already be in the vicinity. We heard that blaring of sirens a short while ago, which could potentially have signaled his arrival here already. But of course, this section is cordoned off from the other section from which the witnesses and the commissioners usually enter. So this is what is currently happening here at the Bridget Mabandla Justice College. Live visuals for you as the fire drill continues. And as we continue our conversation, Prof, also some of the other allegations against Vusimuzi Matlala, his alleged relationship or his links with wider Big Five cartel network members. Now, you know, we have to acknowledge that these remain allegations for the most part, but one can imagine that there would be, you know, some sort of effort made just to glean a little bit more information about that cartel.
I think the Commission's work is to try and connect the dots. There are a lot of allegations that have been made since the Commission started, but it is the duty of the Commission after the dust has settled to connect these dots. Some of the things that have been said by other witnesses will be corroborated, but some will be discarded because there is no evidence to support them. So we are looking forward to hear if indeed there is an organized criminal activity in this country or if it is just an allegation. So we are looking forward to that. But all of this will be revealed at the end of the process. We know that the ad hoc committee has concluded its work, but unfortunately we don't know what the recommendations are in that process. But with this one, we know that a lot of witnesses are still going to come. Some witnesses are arrested day in and day out, which will assist the Commission to make sure that the allegations are either real or not.
And I'm, of course, in conversation with Professor Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi here at the Bridget Mabandla Justice College as you watch live visuals of what is currently happening. And today and tomorrow, of course, are the days set aside to hear the testimony of Vusimuzi Matlala. So just as we continue going through some of the allegations against him, he's also, of course, implicated in alleged relationships with senior police officials. And that, of course, brings back into question again how that 360 million rand tender was awarded and those who were implicated in having an irregular or unlawful relationships, however this will ultimately stack up, Prof.
It's quite a very complicated scenario that was painted. We know that the gentleman, Mr. Matlala, was having a relationship with one of the generals or brigadiers, and we don't know what other relationships he had with other senior officers in the SAPS. But when we know that with these tenders and procurement processes, There's a lot of things that are going wrong, especially the pressure that is put on people that are down there, because when the high-ranking officer comes to you and says sign a document, whether you agree with it or not, you have to oblige, otherwise you will be putting your life at risk. So there is so much pressure that allegedly have happened to make sure that the gentleman ended up getting the contract. We all know that it was since withdrawn.
And of course, there was, one of the issues that Vusimuzi Matlala's legal representative, Advocate Van den Heever, made claim to here at the Bridget Mabanda Justice College.
Yeah.
She had indicated to the Commission that she had not had sight of that plea and sentencing agreement that had subsequently fallen flat.
Yeah.
But she wanted to see the details of what was contained in that. So we know that she was not the initial legal representative for Matlala in that case in which he was meant to turn state witness.
Yeah.
So whether she has had sight of that by now, we still don't know. But do you think that that is something that she could still harp on?
We hope today she won't have an excuse. The postponement has given her an opportunity to seek for those agreements, which you have just indicated that fallen flat. Today, we are hoping that the proceedings will take place without any delay, because the postponement gave the legal representative a chance to go through whatever document, to consult with the witness. I know she can claim that where Mr. Matlala is incarcerated didn't give her enough time to consult with him. But I don't foresee that happening today, because the postponement has given her a chance to consult with this witness.
And of course, all of this coming together here still during phase 2 of the Commission's proceedings. And as we said earlier, one of the other issues for the Commission is that they are pressed for time.
Yeah.
And they cannot afford, they can ill afford any more postponements.
Yeah.
So how do they proceed on this matter if indeed there is the invocation of the right not to self-incriminate by Matlala?
Obviously, the Commission cannot impose on what should happen. Each day is very different. The Commission cannot afford to be seen to be pressurizing or trying to push for time, because they have a limited time. Unfortunately, if the postponement pattern don't change, we are likely to see a report that will not be comprehensive. Not all the terms of reference would have been addressed if these witnesses that are supposed to appear here come with excuses. Some of them, we may say they are genuine, but some of them is just delaying tactics to try and frustrate the Commission.
And of course, I'm also, whilst we're speaking, scouring the parking lot just to see who arrives, because generally we also have the legal representatives entering from this side.
Yeah.
So just trying to see if she does arrive whilst we are on air, perhaps we could try and see if we can get word from Advocate Van den Heever. So Kenny also will scour the parking lot to see if she does indeed arrive whilst we are on air.
Okay.
But from a policing practice perspective, Prof, so much has been said here at the Commission. There's so much that has been testified about.
Yeah.
Where does this leave us as a nation and our policing?
Of primary concern is that when high-ranking officers who are supposed to come with strategies to deal with the crime issues in South Africa are embroiled in kinds of corruption that we are hearing, no wonder each crime statistics that is released, we see the upward spiral. So we hope that this process will ensure that the rebuilding of the criminal justice system, especially the SAPS, because their reputation has been badly tainted. It will take some time to restore public confidence, as we know that there's a trust deficit. So we are hoping that once the commission is done, the recommendations will be implemented to try and rebuild this organization, because we need the police.
Which is not going to be an easy task, because you have people at the very highest levels,
Yes.
Highest ranking police officials who are implicated.
Yes. It's not going to be easy. Who do you pick to place in a strategic position, because you also run the risk of that person doing the same thing as the ones that have just been removed. Yes, we know that most of these senior officers are appearing their retirement age, but it will be wiser to identify good leaders. We still have good police officers in this country. May those good officers be identified and placed in strategic positions to take this organization forward.
Prof. Mabuna, thank you so much. Professor Tumisani Mabuna from UNISA speaking to us here. And it's just a cacophony of sounds. I cannot explain to you. There's so many sounds going on here behind us, quite apart from the engines that are running as well. And we will continue to keep you up to speed with the proceedings as they unfold live here at the Bridges Mabandla Justice College. But it's 8 o'clock. Let me hand it back to you, Leanne.